Hi guys! In this video, you'll see how the actors of the TV series Taxi 1978-1983 have changed. You'll know their real names and age. I will show you how they look then and what's with them now. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go! Louis De Palma, Danny DeVito, works as one of the dispatchers of the taxi company and is known for his sarcastic remarks and rather rude jokes. He is not the friendliest person, likes to discuss others, but on rare occasions he's able to show good nature. Tony Danza, is an employee of the Sunshine Cab Company who is engaged in boxing but didn't achieve high results in it. He is characterized by a manifestation of responsiveness, sometimes can act slowly, and some of his actions can be childish. John Burns strives to get a good education, because of which he went to work in a taxi company to collect the necessary amount of money for education. He is goal-oriented, not used to complaining, and tries to solve his problems on his own. Zena Sharman dated Louis for a while, but never married him. She holds herself in high esteem, indirect in expressing her own thoughts, and is able to show toughness of character, possesses a clear voice, and can show loyalty to a person. Played by Rhea Perlman. Nina Chambers is an employee of Sunshine Cab Company. She is characterized by her cheerfulness and unquenchable optimism, which makes her appealing to a lot of people. Sometimes it's difficult for her to recognize a false crush. Played by Charlene Woodard. Latka Graves is a full-time mechanic for Sunshine Cab Company. He has a peculiar way of speaking, is somewhat naive, and has suffered from a personality disorder. He is eccentric but kind. Played by Andy Kaufman, who died from lung cancer in 1984. Reverend Jim Ignatowski, Christopher Lloyd, works with rigor. He is characterized by the manifestation of individuality, and he looks at the world through his own prism of perception, preferring not to notice the problems surrounding him. Has a bad memory. Bobby Wheeler is one of Tony Banda's colleagues at the taxi company, who dreams of an acting career, but he comes across few worthy options. He can be somewhat naive and doesn't like being used. Played by Jeff Conaway, who died in 2011 from pneumonia. Simca Dublitz Graves, Carol Kane, finds it difficult to build normal relationships with men, and only Latka truly appreciated her, whom later married. Knows how to put a human in his place, especially if he insults her homeland. Acutely reacts to infidelity. Greta Graves, Susan Kellerman, is a close relative of Latka. She's a stately woman who good looks for her age, which actively attracts the attention of men. Is able to show persistence here and is not used to refuse the chance given to her. Can follow all traditions. Jason comes off as a pretty sweet boy on the outside, but when it comes to boxing training, he shows rage, throws some pretty hard punches, and sometimes it's even hard for him to stop. Has some control issues. He's familiar with Tony. Reverend Gorky was familiar with Latka. He is prone to eccentric behavior, adheres to certain spiritual instructions, can philosophize, and sometimes his actions may differ from his statements. Played by Vincent Schiavelli, who died in 2005 of lung cancer. Emily, Andrea Markovici, is friendly to both her colleagues and clients. She is emotional, and when a relationship breaks up, it can be quite difficult for her to cope with her condition, and she can go full Breaking Bad. Maintains friendship with Zena. Joe Rieger is related to Alex by blood. He can demonstrate complete calm, although he can be overcome by negative emotions, also has a rather stubborn nature, but sometimes can compromise. Played by Jake Guilford, who died of stomach cancer in 1990. Vicky DeStefano Anna DeSalva, was in a romantic relationship with Tony Banta, with whom she later married. She is characterized by fragility, light character, and tries to always support loved ones in important moments for them. Doesn't know how to take a punch. Airline attendant Jill Jarris usually stands at the Iberia terminal. She's nice to passengers, never takes her anger out on them, even if she's in a bad mood, and often cheers up others with her smile. She always attentive to the questions of each passenger. Lulu is an organizer of boxing fights and also works with Tony Banta. Has an entrepreneurial spirit, but is also quite greedy for money and often acts dishonestly to his charges. Played by Carmine Caridi, who passed away following a fall in 2019. Kathy Consuelos, Talia Belson, is the only daughter of Rieger with whom she has a rocky relationship. She is prone to independence, not used to making decisions in a hurry, and is able to show understanding, not distinguished by malice, and knows how to forgive. Ernie the waiter is confident and professional with visitors, doesn't tend to be squeezed or embittered, and knows how to maintain concentration and good mood even with a large flow of clients. Played by Dick Miller, who died in 2019 of natural causes. Joyce D. Wallace was a romantic interest for Alex. She has an attractive appearance, her expressive eyes stand out in particular. She knows how to keep up the conversation, is able to make independent decisions, but in a relationship, he doesn't like haste. Arnie can have trouble making quick contact with new people and is often awkward, but he has a good disposition and prefers to act according to his conscience. He tries to work on himself, even if the results do not meet his expectations. Played by Wallace Shawn. Alan was one of the clients of the Sunshine Cab Company. He can behave somewhat cheekily, but when an unusual situation arises for him that requires quick decisions, he can get lost and often prefers to stay away altogether. The role is played by Mandy Patinkin. Tom has a wit and a good sense of humor and is interested in rather unusual things, both in culture and in art. He has strong emotions and is generally characterized by an original nature. Played by Walter Olkiewicz, who died of an infection in 2021. Mitch Harris, Martin Short, has a rather resilient psyche, which helps him respond appropriately to situations that arise in the course of his work. He can be assertive, likes to humor people, and strives to be understood, as well as become a visible personality. Terry Carver often takes part in fighting matches in which Tony Banta can also perform. He's a rather tough opponent who is used to going ahead to victory and not giving concessions to the enemy. In life, he knows how to show kindness. Played by Ernie Hudson. Vincenzo Seneca, Ted Danson, maintains good relations with colleagues and is known for his charm. He has a technical mind and tries to improve in auto mechanics, approaching this issue responsibly. He has a well-placed strike and is not afraid of difficulties. Mrs. Elizabeth Weber is related to Arnie and works as a taxi dispatcher. She has a knack for bringing people together, brings a family atmosphere to the team, and is able to engage in conversation. Who died in 2000 of natural causes. Alex Rieger, Judd Hirsch, thanks to his resourcefulness, always finds the best way to solve a difficult situation and is generally the most active person in the team. He is not without wisdom and is able to avoid making mistakes based on other people's experience. Elaine Nardo, Marilu Henner, is a colleague of Alex Rieger. She's always used to defending her point of view, and even in difficulties, she tries to find something positive. She has a spectacular personality, energetic nature, and is not devoid of cheerful energy. Christina Longworth is a spectacular woman with a delicate taste and who carefully monitors her image. She is flattered by male attention, but doesn't like too intrusive people who don't take into account her opinion. The role is performed by Rebecca Holden. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please share it on social networks, like it, and of course subscribe to the channel.